Good evening, folks. Ace here. In this footage taken back on the 13th of December, I was surrounded by Sasquatch. Um, and you're going to see it in this footage. This was taken actually on the 12th, early morning hours on the 12th. And then by the time I was able to get to the video, it was on the 13th. So that's why it's stamped at 10:27 there. But anyways, I'm surrounded here by Sasquatch, as you're going to see. Now the first one right off the bat is dead ahead right there. Um, he's just back in that brush. He looks pissed. You see he's got his eyebrow ridges raised up like he's frowning at me. See him there. For anybody that has a hard time seeing this, I'm going to go ahead and enter a markup just to show you. So here's the eyebrow ridge, and his eyes are right there. And then the flared nose. And then the mouth is right in there. Looks like there might be a little juvenile right here, right? So, and I'm sure there'll be other Sasquatch in this footage that I won't call out that you'll see, but that's the first one. Now, he's in running distance. He could run right at me. You know, I'd have a hard time getting away from him. He's so close to me right there. But he's not the biggest Sasquatch here. We got a giant in this footage, and I'm going to show you here in a minute. But the next big Sasquatch is right here to the right. He's a copper brownish color one, which you can see his head is like that, right? You can see his eyes. Right here's his first eye and his second eye. There's his big mouth right there. Just hiding back behind that vegetation. So we'll zoom in on him real quick. Okay, you can see his eye right there. His left eye. He doesn't have his nocturnal lens shade engaged because he's setting his eyes back in the shadow enough that it won't slit across his face there. It'll across his eyelid. It'll retract when it's no light going into his eye. It'll retract. Okay, and then over here is his right eye, which it's partially squinted. It looks like right here. And there's his other eye. And then his mouth is back here behind the tree, and his nose is somewhere hidden behind that tree right there, like that. Um, okay, just to point out that right below him there's another Sasquatch right here that's taking a knee, which you can see his eyes are right there. Um, and then probably the one that's the closest to me probably is this one right here, which you wouldn't see him to the untrained eye. You wouldn't be able to see him, but you can see his big eyeball right there. His other eye has its nocturnal shade lens going like that. Um, but what you're gonna see here is look at his teeth right here. Look how they're like freaking fangs, man. Imagine getting caught with one of those. It'd rip your throat out. Unbelievable. Looks like he's got a little juvenile right here under his chin. right there. But right here's the giant. What you're going to see, he's way back there, but he towers above everybody, and you're going to see his eye right there reflecting. You can see his pupil there. Check this out. How big his eyeball is. Absolutely huge. It's a big Sasquatch, folks. Well hidden. Just sitting back in the vegetation. Just keeping an eye on everything. But I'm sure there's closer Sasquatches down here around the very front, like this one right here. You can see a lot of his copper color. You see his eye right there. Here's his ear. There's his nose, his mouth, sitting there. Just amazing. All right, folks. That's just this image here. Um, see if I can get to that better. So here was a Sasquatch right there, and then here's that female. You can see her parts right there, and she's hooting. You can see her hooting. Her mouth is here. See her mouth right there? It's she's yelping right there, doing a call. She's got her head tilted back a little bit, doing a call out. And then there's a juvenile right behind her. There's one here right behind this tree too. A couple of them back in there. Very interesting, to say the least. Okay. Uh, there's a couple Sasquatches there in the thick vegetation watching me. See his eye, he looks pissed, doesn't he? His left eye's half squinted there. Mm. I found I had one I wanted to show you guys, bring to the channel there. I was sorting through my footage last night, and I was half asleep, and I found this really good footage. And shit, I was half asleep. I've misplaced it. And now I have to rediscover it again. But look at this one here, peeking around the tree there, watching me. So these Sasquatches, right? They sometimes you can catch them with real good footage, and other times you can't. It's like got a distorted type uh, look to it. You know, people say they can't never find good images, right? Well, they use their nocturnal eyes to their advantage. They use that reflecting light and stuff to uh, cause disruption in recording equipment and everything. Which I got some footage of that I put up on the channel. Let's see here. Okay, just a moment here. Let me get to my footage. There's one that was underneath the tree. Just hiding out. I got a crystal clear photo of a juvenile. I was crossing the creek bed, and he was underneath the logs, and my camera was just dangling on my neck, and it was recording. And as I strafed across the wood, it recorded him, and it's really good footage. And look at this one. Look at that. Now, that's pretty good footage right there. Uh, there's one there. Getting in the brush. Check him out. Sitting there watching me in the brush late at night. He's leaning down there. And this one here's on the ground. I'm gonna overdo it. Like to clean that up a little bit. Check him out. So, they coat their skin and stuff, and it helps them hide so well. But also, I have a working theory uh, on how they get their abilities because I've watched them for a while, and so I think that like you have your regular experience with Sasquatches. People have sightings every day, right? But if if the late Scott Carpenter, rest in peace, was right, and if Sasquatches are a descendant of the Nephilim, um, then you know their spirits are not of this of heaven, or they're not they're going to be on the earth when they die, right? Their spirits are going to roam the earth. So that's why people are having supernatural experiences with them, because they're having experiences with the ones that's passed on. Um, Whether it's like a spiritual, like a higher, what they call them, uh, cloaked beings and whatnot, right? And I still think they can interact with the world even when they die. They just lose their fleshly body or whatever. But also, I think that could also contribute to why the cameras, it's hard to get good images, is because those spirits will surround them, and it disorients all the electromagnetism and whatnot, and you can't get good footage of them. So I think that's what the supernatural element of it is the disembodied spirits of them. And that's why you're getting a whole class of of sightings from people. You're getting ones with the very practical flesh and blood sighting that's like I had, clear up to the cloaked, walking through walls type sightings that people have, and that could be the ones that's passed on. But this they didn't pass on very far. The spirit is still here, right? They're not going to heaven because they're not human. So that's what I think. And that's where the distortions coming because they just stay with their tribe after they die, and I think that's how the cameras are getting distorted and whatnot. Is that they're getting influenced like that? So I don't know if it's true or not. It's just a theory. There's plenty of Sasquatch in this footage here. They're all covered and concealed, hidden in that vegetation. Wow, bunch of them in there. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna hit back on this real quick, just for a second. And let me see here. I'm gonna try to find this footage real quick. Okay, so you remember in the story in the Bible where it talks about Moses went up to Mount Sinai and got the Ten Commandments that he went to the mountain of God basically and after 30 days when he came back down he was in the presence of the Lord for so long his face was glowing and it frightened the people when Moses came down the hill. It frightened them and they told Moses to go away. We don't want to see you scare us. And so uh, when that happened, uh, it scared the people. Well, look at this. I have a video of the Sasquatch that was glowing, right? His full body was glowing and he was walking across the woods. And this is him. He's hiding behind the vegetation, but he's peeking out, right? And look how clear this footage is. So you got his eyes right here. He's peeking through his fingers, right? Here's his eyes. Here's his thumb and his other fingers. And he's looking at me through those fingers. Here's his chin, right? Look how it's glowing. Right here's his face. To me, if that story in the Bible holds true, which you would know it does, that maybe that's what's happening here is these beings have been too close to an angelic being and they've absorbed that light and they're glowing from it. Because look at his fingers, which we can see right between his two digits there. We can see his eyes, right? Look at that. He's watching me right between his two fingers. And he's glowing there. And then look at this little juvenile right here. Look at that eyeball. Look at that. Wow. But yeah, he's behind two trees and he's holding his arm up, shielding his eyes to where he can watch me between his two fingers. Absolutely amazing. Now this video I got was that I'm still deciphering the video. It was like it's 11 minutes long, and it shows these Sasquatches walking around just glowing, glowing like the sun. Um, and I've not put the video out yet because I'm still deciphering, getting footage like this off of it. But I will be putting that video up here soon. But it shows these Sasquatches like this. I got some more images of this I'm going to show you. There's another Sasquatch right there above him, right? Okay. I'm gonna hit done on that. Look at that. Just amazing, man. All right. On the second photo that I have of this glowing being, bear with me here. I'll find it for you. Uh, just a moment. It's a good one too. Just a minute here. Won't be much longer. It's pretty clear footage. Let's see if this is. That ain't it. Um, well, here's that same entity. Side profile view. Look at his face glowing there. Look how his head's glowing. His facial structure. Check that out. Just glowing like the sun. Staying back behind that uh, large tree, masking itself. Look at that Sasquatch there. It's huge. Okay, just a minute here. That's not the one I was wanting to show you, but um, let me see here. Bear with me. Um, let's see here. That one ain't it. Okay, I'm getting close. Getting close to the one I want to show you here. Maybe I passed it up. There's one peeking at the tree there. Look at that. Uh, all right. Yeah, I must have went too far. Anyways, back to that story of the face glowing. So I'm just wondering if that is what is happening here in this footage. Look at this one here, peeking out. It's got look at the baby on top of his head there. Look at that. See its little eyes, little female, look at her little bits there. Little female on top of the head here. Just amazing. All right, let's see here. I know I gotta be getting close to that. I got so much footage here, guys. It's just unbelievable. I got over 7,900 uh, photos just that I need to go through right now. It's like 7,900 photos, man. It's unbelievable. It really is. And I need to go through and see. Here's one of the face glowing here, peeking through the vegetation. Look at this guy. I'd like to do some enhancement on that. Maybe I'll pull some images up on that one. Mm, Alright. Anyways, I'm not gonna. I'll keep you guys. I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting. Right here. This is it. Sorry, guys, but look at this big Sasquatch right here to the tree on the right. Side profile view. He's using that tree to break a silhouette. Look at that. Look how massive his head is. Um, right there. And then you got a big Sasquatch here. But here is one of the Sasquatches that's glowing, partially glowing on its left side of its face. Which I'm gonna zoom in here and you guys can see it. It's just quite phenomenal. It really is. This is a really good find right here. So let me see here. Let me turn the sharpness up a little bit. Here we go. Look at this. So you see the left eye is totally just glowing and snarling at me, and his right eye is glowing more of an ember looking color. Um, and then you got this huge Sasquatch right there. And he's looking down at the one that's glowing. You can see his left eye is focusing down there and not even looking at me. Um, you can see his face there. And the same goes for the top one there. They're concerned about this younger Sasquatch down here that's glowing like that. Um, that looks like a pain response, really. The way he's snarling right there almost looks like a pain response. Let me go ahead and I got a clear image of this that's closer that gives us a better look at the better view of this, um, which I need to find it. So yeah, that I think that's the supernatural element to it. I think are the ones that's passed on, and but the ones who are alive, they're just flesh and bone. They're not doing anything extraordinary. I don't think. I could be wrong, but it's just a theory of mine. Let's see here. Okay. All right, folks. That's what I got. When I find that other footage, I'll most definitely get it up on the channel tomorrow. So I'd like to welcome all my new members, which I don't think I've had any for a long time. But yeah, have a good one. Peace.